Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, coming at you with your daily dose of hopium. Which, of course, when people use that word, it's always as a pejorative, and I say fair enough. But that said, there are lots of very good reasons to be optimistic for the future, and I'm going to share a bunch of them with you in this latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam. I'll start off by sharing some perspective from chart analysts on Bitcoin, and then I have some XRP specific stuff which you're not going to want to miss. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 1:19 p.m. Central Time, Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. XRP, just like, oh, tiny little baby boo bit shy of 60 cents. It feels like it might just hit it, but up almost 3% over the last 24 hours, while pretty much the rest of the market, not all of it, but almost all of it, in red. In fact, Bitcoin currently $62,126, down over 2% over the last 24 hours. And it's just fascinating. And actually, I'm going to show you a post a little bit later in the video, but one of the analysts that I follow highlighted something that well, I mean, probably we're not the only ones, but I kind of thought myself, I was like, this isn't normal. And I mean, I love to see it, but typically when the market goes down, XRP's like, hold my beer, you know? But in this case, and recently we've been seeing some very interesting behavior. It's more like market go down, maybe XRP does, but very frequently, lately anyway, it goes up. Now it's up over 3%. I'm telling you, having been here for almost 7 years, you don't normally see XRP acting like this. It has been showing some serious strength over the last couple months. And it's a matter of fact that XRP is among the very top performers in the top 100 coins for the last couple months at this point. In fact, when I checked, and I'm sure some of you will recall this, XRP was literally, for a certain time period, I can't remember if it was maybe the beginning of July, maybe it was the 4-week period, but around then, it was literally number 2 out of the top actually 125 coins. Like, that's not normal, folks. But like I always say, eventually XRP does find a bottom, and it looks like that's probably been the case at this point. I mean, sure, it found the bottom against the United States dollar in June of 2022, but it probably found the bottom against Bitcoin over 2 months ago on June 7th. Here you got the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 48 out of 100, so people feeling kind of neutral. But take a look at this, because there are all sorts of people that are feeling very bearish, and it just does not compute to me. It just doesn't. Take a look at this. I'm not familiar with this particular analyst, but he's got a pretty respectable following, 42,700 followers. That's not easy to attain. And one of the analysts that I followed reposted what's on your screen right now, and I thought, yes, this makes sense, so I thought I'd share it with you. So this is chart analyst Decode. And he said, Bitcoin is 12.5% lower than it was at the $73,000 local high back in March. Think about that for a moment. 12.5% is nothing in this market. If $73,000 was the cycle top after nearly 7 months, we would be down at least 50% by now, if not much more. Consider that a Bitcoin bear market typically lasts about a year and retraces 80% of the move. The fact we are only down 12.5% after 7 months should be enough signal. Just a very long, very boring, and very frustrating sideways consolidation in a Bitcoin bull market that has a way to go. And so when you think about it like that, I gotta ask you, like, is that not compelling? To me, it's compelling. Consolidating this long, like, it certainly happens. I mean, it's happening right now, I'd certainly argue. But if this were actually the bear market and everything's over, well, a couple things. Isn't it weird that Bitcoin barely poked above its previous all-time high and for a very short period of time? I'd say yes. And second, why the hell hasn't it crashed way more after this long? That is an excellent point that he makes. And so nobody knows what's going to happen. But if I had to guess for funsies, I would guess that the best is yet ahead. This year, maybe it spills into 2025 to whatever degree, cool. I will not be surprised to see Bitcoin go much higher. I will not be surprised to see an alt season. I will not be surprised to see XRP hit a new all-time high, Enterprise Discovery, and melt faces. I won't be the least bit surprised if that happens. Here's a post from chart analyst Tony Severino, and this one is also interesting. It's just like, how many signs do you have to look at before you're like, okay, even though fine, we can always admit, like, we don't know for sure, duh, I'm not claiming to, and nobody should, but don't we have enough data to look at and say, huh, well, in terms of what's most probable, it would be a continuation to the upside, right? Here's another piece. This, again, from Tony Severino. And it's a Bitcoin USD chart on your screen. He says, while weekly Bitcoin historical volatility is on the cusp of a breakout, the 2-month Bitcoin chart is showing Bitcoin at the second lowest level of volatility in its entire history. The last time historical volatility got this low, the last leg up in the 2017 bull run occurred. And so I will just say, even though I'm not a chart guy, I do know this, that when, like what precedes things going ballistic is very frequently low volatility. It just does. And that is what happened in 2017. And that's the zone we're in now. Second to, it's like, again, second to lowest level of volatility in the entire roughly 15-year history of Bitcoin. Look, you can look at any individual sign and be like, yeah, I don't know, but you are listening. So like, if you're listening right now before the mania hits, you're probably somebody that's hyper interested in crypto just like I am. You've probably seen enough data points right now to think, this is probably, it's not just a one-off thing. There's all sorts of signs all over the damn place. The signs are clear for Bitcoin, for XRP, not in terms of for sure what's going to happen, but in terms of what is probable. How can you come to a conclusion that it's not probable Bitcoin and XRP and the rest of the market takes off? That's crazy to me, if anybody thinks that. Here's a post from chart analyst Mustache. Bitcoin USD chart, and he says, don't get lost in short-term price action. It can be pretty nasty sometimes. Look at the bigger picture. First line successfully reclaimed. Now Bitcoin is trying to find support on the second black line. And so this is an instance where if you want to see what's being discussed here, it would be worth looking at your screen here. And so he's showing a couple key levels here on the right side where I move my mouse, but he's also showing a particular chart formation, a descending broadening wedge, and that's what he believes we're in right now. He firmly believes that we are going to be moving to the upside, ultimately new all-time high, and that is what I see from, frankly, just about 100% of the analysts that I follow. In terms of what is most probable, yes, that. Here's a post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. Bitcoin huge parabolic rally incoming. Every technical analysis sign that happened in 2016 and 2020 is showing now. No, probably nothing. It's probably nothing, right? All these things, you know, and Bitcoin historically, of course, roughly every 4 years it pops. But this is the time where it's different, and we actually don't see a crazy alt season. We don't see it notably getting above the previous cycle's all-time high. This is the time that's different after 15 years. Do we believe that? I sure as hell don't. I mean, history really does rhyme with itself. And it's a fun discussion as to why, but it clearly does. And when Bitcoin goes higher, and this is why I'm happy to cover Bitcoin even though I don't really care about it. I hold it. I've been holding it since 2017. It's one of my largest positions because of that. But like, even though I'm not that excited about it, I love tracking what's happening because I know the higher Bitcoin goes, the more money is going to ultimately get pumped into XRP because of that, which is my largest individual crypto holding and the one that I'm most interested in. Because people will sell Bitcoin. And yes, some people are going to take that money out, just put it into United States dollars or whatever the fiat currency of choices. But a lot of it's going to flow through the rest of the entire asset class, go further out the risk curve. And yes, XRP is absolutely going to benefit from that. Let's just say I have high conviction. Here's a post from chart analyst Greg Crypto. And this chart is market cap Bitcoin dominance percentage. And he says, Bitcoin dominance, the epic fall awaits. If Bitcoin dominance closes above 58% on a monthly basis, it could pave the way for a surge to at least 73%. However, the rising wedge pattern is hinting at a potential breakdown that could breathe life back into the altcoins. Minimum target 39%, only time will tell. Yeah, and so I'm not going to pretend to know what the dominance percentage peak will be for this market cycle. Some of the analysts that I follow say, hey, it's more or less at its peak at this point. I don't pretend to know, again, if that's true or not. But I can tell you for sure, the rest of it it's going to come to pass, like virtual certainty anyway. Because what happens, again, like I was saying a second ago, Bitcoin peaks, right? And then money flows into altcoins. And so even if the price of Bitcoin continues to go up, cool, happy to see it, the degree to which it dominates the market will decrease because altcoins will run. So that part, I have no question of whether or not that's going to happen. I mean, unless we get some weird black swan event, of course, and the market doesn't go up, fine. But I don't believe that to be the most probable here. Here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Insight UK. Watching to see if Bitcoin catches a bid here. If we see some retrieval in sell pressure, I'll be watching XRP closely. Right now, Bitcoin is pulling everything down. If this lets up, will XRP try to break out? Great question. And it's just fascinating. And he's the one I was referencing at the outset of the video. He says, here's a several from him. He says, XRP giving 0 S words right now. 60 cents still up, still a pain though. And so he's noting Bitcoin ETH down, XRP at the time up, and it's percentage-wise up even more now. But either way, the market is still moving in tandem. So great to see that Bitcoin, or rather XRP, is outperforming the rest of the market, broadly speaking, certainly Bitcoin anyway. But yes, once you do still want to see this, when you see Bitcoin resume to the upside, yeah, that's when the fun really begins. There's also this post from Crypto Insight UK, XRP wave count update. To confirm the start of this third wave, we need a close above 64 cents. 4-hour relative strength index could be turning bullish here. And so he is expecting in the short term XRP to get up close to that $1 range. And as far as the resistance level, I know anybody covering what's happening with XRP price on YouTube must sound like a broken record at this point. And I say fair enough because there hasn't been a change, but that's the resistance level we keep seeing. Some say it's 64 cents, some say 65, some say 66 cents. It's about the same point. We're splitting hairs here. And chart analyst Dom at TraderView 2, he very clearly believes the same thing. Here's another XRP chart. He says, XRP, as stated for weeks now, 63 to 65 cents is the most important zone on this chart, thus the rejection. Nothing happens until it is fully flipped to support. We can experience much more chop until then. Save yourself and just set alerts. And so well, that is what we're waiting for. Another key level around 75 cents, fine. And then after that, off to the races. So I know it's just boring sideways price action, but even though that is true, and it's technically boring, like, I don't know about you, but I'm still feeling pretty damn excited because I'm seeing all of these signs, like I keep saying. The signs are very clear. It's data. We know what happens when the data shows what it shows. We know what historically has happened. Is this time different? I say no, that's not likely. That's why I'm excited. Yeah, it's sideways price action, but come on, man. Why would you not be excited right now if you know this stuff, right? Here's another post from Dom. XRP Fractal analysis. Who was here in 2021 after the lawsuit was announced? I remember this structure / fractal very clearly, and the current price action somewhat reminds me of it. While not exact, I would like to see something similar play out. Important not to lose the 200 EMA. And so you got 2021 XRP price action on your left, and on the right, you've got what's happening right now. And it looks fairly similar to whatever degree. But, it's a pretty healthy reminder of just how quick things can change. I mean, look at 2021. Do you see this spike here? And that's when XRP was supposed to fall out of the top 10 and go to 0 against a Bitcoin. Remember that crap? Which did not happen. Instead, it went up to $2, even while there was an SEC assault. Well, I will not be surprised. And I don't know, pretend to know what day it'll be. It'll probably be a Wednesday. But it's going to start going one day. You're going to wake up, you're going to check your phone, you're going to double take it. Whoa, is that real? Refresh. Yep. That's what it's like. Those moments are rare, but they do happen. And it's silly to think we'll never have another one like that for XRP ever again. If this market's going to go, my God. It happens really quick. It'll rocket, and either you have exposure when it happens or you don't. The people that get bored with price action and the people that get impatient and they sell because they wanted something to happen price-wise sooner, they're the ones that end up paying more to get back in later. That's the human behavior you keep seeing. But I want my Lambo now. Shut up. You'll get your Lambo when you get it. It's not today. But that's what humans do, and it's silly. And so I just refuse to act like that. That's why I love my strategy. I just buy stuff, and then I hold, and I insist that I be the most stubborn purchaser on the entire planet. That's what I do for myself. Because I don't think I know better. I don't think that I can just magically time the market and get in and out of positions and buy the next hot thing. I don't believe any of that at all. That's a bunch of garbage. Broad exposure is the way to do it. And not enough people on YouTube in the world of crypto will tell you the honest truth. And that's why, I could lie like some do, and I could have a course to sell you. I could have created one. I could have done that crap and just pretended like I'm some sort of guru, but I'm not. I'm a regular dude. I just happen to have a YouTube channel. I'm no better or smarter or more wise than you, but that's the point. That's what I find so empowering about investing in crypto. The everyday person absolutely can achieve life-changing wealth. You just buy, you have broad exposure, and you wait. That's it. It really is that simple. Happy to be here. Here's a post from chart analyst Rickus, XRP. He says, and this is another instance where it would be beneficial to look at the screen here so you can see what he's specifically talking about. But he says, you want that red trend line to break. Hard resistance, but once that snaps, then it should be game on. Those fibs, bit high for my liking, and highly speculative. Okay, I appreciate the intellectual honesty. So I'm referencing the latter part of his post. So fine, breaks out of this and becomes support, cool. That's very much in line with what I'm seeing from all sorts of analysts. Now, as far as, the fibs he's talking about, where XRP goes upwards of, $8 to $13 roughly, fair enough to state it's speculative, that's intellectually honest. I don't know if those levels will get hit, but they do not seem remotely wacky. They seem reasonably conservative based on, historically, what we see in the world of crypto when it comes to euphoric price action, towards the end of a market cycle. So I won't be surprised in the least if those get hit. Now, I don't know if they will, but I'll definitely not be surprised. So anyway, all that to say, lots of reasons to be very optimistic about what's going to happen moving forward for the market, broadly speaking, but certainly specifically for XRP. This is the most excited I've ever been, honestly, I mean it, to be holding crypto, to be in this space at all, and to be an XRP holder. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we get disappointed, but I doubt it. Honestly, I really doubt it. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.